Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Good evening. You're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. Greetings and best wishes of the leadership of Iran to His Majesty the Sultan were conveyed to His Highness Sayyid Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Saeed by the Iranian Assistant Foreign Minister. State Council discusses drafts of traffic law and state's general budget expenditure for 2015. The Board of Directors of Rafad Fund approves to finance 1,080 projects and open 5 branches for the fund. And Government of Dhahra wins His Majesty the Sultan's Excellence Cup for Scouts, Guides and School Hygiene Competition. Those were the headlines, and now for the news in detail. His Highness Sayyid Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Saeed, Deputy Prime Minister for the Council of Ministers, today received His Excellency Hossein Amir Al Lahyan, Assistant Foreign Minister for Arab and African Affairs of Iran. He handed over a written message from His Excellency Ishaq Jaha Najeri, First Deputy to His Excellency the President of Iran, on invitation to His Highness to visit Iran. His Excellency conveyed greetings and best wishes of the leadership of Iran to His Majesty Sultan Qaboos with good health, happiness and for the government continuous success and Omani people further progress and prosperity. His Highness thanked him for the good feelings, wishing further development for Iran and all nations of the region. During the meeting, they reviewed situations in the regional and international arenas and their impacts in security and stability, as well as in economy and social aspects. His Excellency Hossein Amir Al Lahyan expressed his country's praise for the Sultanate's attitude under the leadership of His Majesty the Sultan, for continuous support of understanding among all countries and for hosting the dialogue between Iran and the international parties to reach fair solutions for the presented issues. It was attended by His Excellency Sheikh Al-Fadl bin Mohammed bin Ahmed Al-Khathi, Secretary General of the Council of Ministers, and His Excellency Ali Akbar Sibawi, Ambassador of Iran, accredited to the Sultanate. Drafts of traffic law and rationalization of spending in the state's general budget of the next year were among the pioneering topics discussed by the State Council during its second session of its 4th annual convening round from the 5th term. It was presided over by His Excellency Dr. Yahya bin Mahfouz Al-Manthri, Chairman of the State Council. A number of topics forwarded by some committees were approved, namely rationalizing of spending within the challenges facing the general state budget as the oil price is declining, as well as discussing the topics of reviewing legislations organizing wastewater and water pollution, besides regulations of marrying foreigners. They also discussed a number of topics related to sports clubs in the Sultanate, employment and human resources of the private sector. The Board of Directors of Rafad Fund has approved to finance 1,080 projects whose owners have come forward to obtain a loan within the Lending Fund programme. Meanwhile, 811 projects had completed procedures of financing from Oman Development Bank at a cost of 26 million Omani Riyals. The meeting was presided over by His Excellency Dr. Ali bin Masoud As-Sanadi, Minister of Commerce and Industry and Chairman of the Board of Directors of Rafad Fund. It also approved to open 5 branches for the fund in 2015 in the governorates of Dakhiliya, North Sharqiya, South Batna, Dhahra and Wasta, as well as ratifying the marketing logo and identity of the fund and e-system to run demands and loans. It discussed 5 financing programs which helped unemployed Omani youth to establish their own projects. In a press conference held at the General Diwan of the Ministry, Her Excellency Dr. Madiha bint Ahmed Al-Shaybaniya, Minister of Education, announced in Muscat today that the Scouts and Guides Commission in the Governorate of Dhahra won both His Majesty the Sultan's Cup for Scouts and Guides Excellence as well as the School Hygiene Competition. The Governorate of Dhahra came first at the Sultanate's level for the school year 2013-2014, while the Governorate of North Al-Batna came second, whereas the Governorate of Dakhiliya came third, the Governorate of South Al-Batna came fourth, and the Governorate of Muscat came fifth. The Sharqiya University held a ceremony to celebrate the 44th glorious National Day. It included poetic sessions, traditional Omani singing arts, in addition to children's shows and operetta. During the celebration, the participants expressed their sincere feelings towards His Majesty the Sultan, praying to Almighty Allah to protect His Majesty and bestow upon him health and happiness. The children hoisted flags of the Sultanate and chanted national songs together with the youth to add further joy to the glorious occasion. The United Arab Emirates today celebrated its 43rd National Day as it has achieved high levels of sustainable development locally and obtained advanced position regionally and internationally of progress and prosperity. It has got the 12th place according to International Competitiveness Report issued in September by World Economic Forum. His Highness Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, President of the United Arab Emirates, has adopted aspirational development strategies dependent on knowledge, creativity and innovation, which he led wisely after the founder of the state and builder of his renaissance, Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, and his brothers to achieve the renaissance of the Emirates and to provide decent life for its citizens. To embody the distinguished relations binding the Sultanate and the United Arab Emirates, citizens of the governorates of Brahmi, North Batna, Musandam and Dhahra today joined celebrations of the 43rd National Day of the United Arab Emirates by organising activities at all border checkpoints between the Sultanate and the UAE. Citizens of North Al Batna Governorate, in cooperation with the government institutions and the Royal Oman Police, organised a number of activities on the occasion at Al Wajaja and Khatmat Milaha border checkpoints in the Wilayat of Shinas in the Governorate. Citizens of Musandam Governorate celebrated the occasion at Al Dara border checkpoint in Ras Al Khaimah in the UAE. The activities included traditional arts and carrying photos of His Majesty the Sultan and His Highness Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, as well as Oman and UAE flags, expressing congratulations for the UAE citizens. School students and Royal Oman Police distributed souvenirs and Omani halwa for those coming through the UAE through the border checkpoints. The Oman Observer newspaper was displayed at the Museum of News and Journalism Museum in Washington, USA, to expand the Omani media. This came through a visit of Omani delegation headed by His Excellency Dr. Abdul Munim bin Mansour Lehsani, Minister of Information, accompanied by a number of media men from the Ministry and Public Authority for Radio and Television, as well as academics from Sultan Qaboos University. After a tour in the sections of the museum, a special reception ceremony was held for the Omani delegation, with the attendance of more than 40 managers and officials of American media institutions. After that, the attendees watched an introductory film about the Sultanate. The Omani delegation looks forward to visit a number of international media centres and universities in Washington so as to get acquainted with the work process of those institutions. Still to come in our news bulletin, Oman Air celebrates the launch of its new destination to the capital of the Philippines, Manila. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. With the participation of 95 researchers from 23 countries, activities of the 7th International Conference for Tourism were opened today at Sultan Qaboos University. The two-day conference hosts a group of lecturers in the field of tourism who present 100 scientific papers to discuss ways of cooperation between the public and private sectors in activating tourism and marketing, as well as the visionary image of tourism potentials. It was presided over by Her Excellency Maytha bin Saif Al Mahrouqiya, Under-Secretary of the Ministry of Tourism. A host of topics in municipal environment and agriculture were discussed by the Municipal Council of the Governorate of Dakhiliya. They also discussed proposals of some citizens relating to service developments in the wilayas of the Governorate, namely supporting families of social insurance to join their children in kindergarten and other development services of concern to citizens. The meeting was presided over by His Excellency Dr. Khalifa bin Hamad Al-Saadi, Governor of Dakhiliya. Developing services of concern to citizens was discussed by the Municipal Council of the Governorate of Musandam, whose meeting was held in the Wilaya of Bukha. It reviewed the development plans for fishing port in the Wilaya to improve its capabilities in the next stage. It also discussed a number of topics of various services in the other Wilayas of the Governorate. The meeting was presided over by His Excellency Syed Khalifa bin Al-Mardas Al-Busaidi, Governor of Musandam. Oman Air, the Sultanate's national carrier, celebrated at Muscat International Airport today the launch of its new destination to the capital of the Philippines, Manila. The delegation taking part in Oman Air ceremony in Manila was led by His Excellency Syed Badr bin Hamad Al-Busaidi, Secretary General of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and other officials of Oman Air. The chief commercial official at Oman Air stated that opening of Muscat-Manila-Muscat route comes in coincidence with the Sultanate's celebrations of the 44th Glorious National Day. He explained that 3 weekly flights will be operated to Manila and the number of flights will be increased during the upcoming period. He pointed out that 4 weekly flights were given for the Sultanate, as 3 flights are directed to Manila and the 4th flight is through Clark Airport in the Philippines. Developing and updating curriculum of some private colleges and universities in the Sultanate, as well as difficulties facing the students in academic atmospheres, were among discussions of annual meeting of heads and deans of the private higher education institutions. They also discussed means of modern education and the importance to enlist them within the future teaching plans and benefit from the experiments of the pioneering universities and the international level. An exhibition in the Governorate of Dakhiliya highlighted students' abilities and talents which school and university students enjoy. The exhibition, which was organised by the Directorate General for Education, presented students' products which may reach to leadership level if they are supported by the institutions concerned. The Dhank School at the Governorate of Dhahra organised a heritage forum to train female students in making handicrafts. It came to contribute in preserving traditional crafts and enhancing students' capabilities in this field. The forum included a number of artistic works, potteries, Omani singing arts, fine arts and other activities. The participants expressed that such events motivate the youth and contribute in spreading knowledge in this field. Within the activities of school sports days, more than 250 students took part in the Sub-Junior Basketball Festival. The festival, which is held in 2 stations for the 5th year consecutively, aims to provide students with skills of basketball. It also aims to discover the talents in various sports. At the premises of Omani Fine Arts Association in the Governorate of Dhafar, affiliated to Sultan Qaboos Higher Centre for Culture and Science, an exhibition, Digital Designing and Oil Painting for Magdi Bahadeen, was opened. The exhibition, which will last until the 11th of this month, includes 47 works of nature and personal faces and other various topics. Now for the general weather forecast. Clear skies will prevail over the Sultanate with chances of low clouds and fog late night and early morning over the southeastern coastal areas. Winds will be northerly to northwesterly light to moderate along the most of the governorates, while it will be southerly to light moderate along the rest of the Sultanate. Seas will be moderate to rough along the western coast of the Governorate of Musandam and Sea of Oman, with a maximum wave height of 2.5 metres. Along the rest of the coasts, it will be slight to moderate with a maximum wave height of 1.5 metres. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. Greetings and best wishes of the leadership of Iran to His Majesty the Sultan were conveyed by the Iranian Assistant Foreign Minister when received by His Highness Syed Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Saeed. State Council discusses drafts of traffic law and rationalisation of spending in the state's general budget of the next year. The Board of Directors of Rafat Fund approves to finance 1,080 projects and open 5 branches for the fund. And Governorate of Dhahra wins His Majesty the Sultan's Excellence Cup for Scouts, Guides and School Hygiene competition. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, it's good night.